Writing might be the single most important invention in human history, letting us freeze thoughts, laws, and stories long after the speaker is gone. But not every script works the same way. Some spell out sounds letter by letter. Some draw whole ideas as single symbols, and one was literally invented by a king in a few short years. In this video, we're tracing humanity's greatest writing systems, from the first wedge-shaped marks in ancient clay to Korea's ingeniously engineered alphabet, and showing exactly how each one encodes language. Cuneiform is the oldest writing system we know of, invented by the Sumerians in Mesopotamia around 3200 BCE. Scribes pressed a reed stylus into soft clay tablets, and because straight lines in clay tend to look like wedges, the whole script ended up made of tiny wedge-shaped marks. It started out as simple pictures of everyday things like barley or sheep, mostly for tracking trade and taxes. But scribes gradually realized they could use symbols for sounds instead of just objects. That let them write down abstract ideas, names, and eventually entire epics like the Epic of Gilgamesh. Over centuries, the same wedge-based system was borrowed and adapted to write completely unrelated languages, including Akkadian, Babylonian, and even Old Persian. The fun quirk is that a single cuneiform sign could mean a whole word in one context and just a sound in another, so reading it required knowing which system the scribe was using that day. Egyptian hieroglyphs appeared around the same time as cuneiform, and the word literally means sacred carvings, because priests used them to decorate temple walls and tomb chambers. What makes hieroglyphs so clever is that they mix three different jobs into one system. Some signs are pictures that stand for whole words, some stand for one or a few consonant sounds like an alphabet, and others are silent determinative signs added at the end just to clarify meaning. So the picture of an owl might sound out the letter M, while a tiny picture of a walking man tacked onto a word signals that word is about movement. For everyday writing, scribes actually used faster cursive versions called hieratic and demotic, saving the fancy carved pictures for monuments. For centuries, nobody could read hieroglyphs at all until the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, which repeated the same royal decree in hieroglyphs, demotic, and Greek, finally giving scholars the key to crack the code. The fun quirk is that ancient Egyptian never wrote vowels, so we honestly aren't 100% sure how pharaohs' names actually sounded. Chinese characters, or Hanzi, go back to markings scratched onto turtle shells and ox bones around 1200 BCE, used to ask ancestors and gods questions through divination. Unlike alphabets, most Chinese characters represent a unit of meaning rather than a single sound. So instead of spelling words letter by letter, you're basically drawing little meaning blocks that stack together, like combining sun and moon to build the character for bright. Educated readers need to memorize thousands of these characters, and dictionaries can list well over 50,000, though a few thousand cover most daily reading. Because the characters carry meaning rather than pronunciation, they were historically borrowed by other cultures across East Asia. So classical Chinese texts could once be read, after a fashion, by educated people in Japan, Korea, and Vietnam, even though they spoke completely different languages. Today, mainland China uses simplified characters with fewer strokes, while Taiwan and Hong Kong still use the older traditional forms. The fun quirk is that this is the only major ancient writing system still in everyday use exactly where it began, unbroken for over 3,000 years. The Greek alphabet showed up around 800 BCE when Greek traders adapted the Phoenician writing system, which only recorded consonants for their own language. The Greeks' big innovation was adding letters for vowel sounds, turning some unused Phoenician consonant symbols into the first true vowels the world had ever seen in an alphabet. That mattered enormously because a full alphabet with vowels makes it much easier to sound out unfamiliar words exactly as they're pronounced. From this one script came basically every European alphabet used today, either directly or through later offshoots. Greek itself is still spoken and written with this alphabet in Greece and Cyprus, but its letters also live a second life all over the world as math and science symbols, like using pi for circles or omega for electrical resistance. The fun quirk is that fraternities, sororities, and even hurricane naming lists still borrow Greek letters just because they look cool and classical. The Latin alphabet was developed by the Romans around the 7th century BCE, borrowing letter shapes from the Etruscans, who had themselves borrowed from Greek colonists in Italy. As Rome's empire expanded across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East, it carried this alphabet with it, and it never really stopped spreading afterward. Today, it's the most widely used writing system on Earth, forming the basis for English, Spanish, French, Vietnamese, Swahili, and dozens of other languages that have never even bordered Italy. Because so many different languages adopted it, they each had to bolt on extra tricks, like accent marks in French, the tilde in Spanish, or entirely new letters, like the German BS, to cover sounds the original 23 Roman letters never needed. English itself uses 26 letters, having added J, U, and W long after Roman times. The fun quirk is that the shapes on your keyboard right now are essentially 2,000-year-old Roman stonemasons' letters, barely changed because they were carved to be legible from a distance on monuments. Arabic script developed a few centuries before Islam in the Arabian Peninsula, but it spread explosively once the Quran was written down in it, and Muslim traders and scholars carried it across Asia, Africa, and Europe. It's written from right to left, and it's a cursive script by nature, meaning nearly every letter physically connects to its neighbors, like joined-up handwriting rather than standing alone. The really distinctive quirk is that most Arabic letters actually change shape depending on whether they appear at the beginning, middle, or end of a word, or standing completely alone. So you effectively have to learn several forms of the same letter. Short vowel sounds are usually left out of everyday writing entirely, shown only with optional little marks above or below letters, which readers rely on context to fill in. Because of Islam's spread, Arabic script wasn't just kept for Arabic itself, it was adapted to write Persian, Urdu, Pashto, and historically even Turkish and Swahili, each adding a few extra letters for sounds Arabic doesn't have. The fun quirk is that Arabic calligraphy became such a refined art form that entire mosques are decorated with verses turned into flowing geometric patterns instead of pictures. Devanagari is the script most people picture when they think of Hindi or Sanskrit, and it descends from the ancient Brahmi script used in India more than 2,000 years ago. It belongs to a special category linguists call an abugida, which is different from a true alphabet, because every consonant letter already comes with a built-in default vowel sound attached to it, usually a short A. If you want a different vowel, or no vowel at all, you don't swap in a separate letter like English does. You instead attach a small mark above, below, or beside the consonant to modify it. Visually, you can spot Devanagari instantly because most letters hang down from a continuous horizontal line running along the top, almost like they're all clipped to a clothesline. This same basic system, born from Brahmi, is the ancestor of dozens of scripts used across South and Southeast Asia today, from Bengali to Thai to Tibetan. Devanagari itself is used to write Hindi, Sanskrit, Marathi, and Nepali, among other languages. The fun quirk is that when two consonants bump together with no vowel between them, scribes often smash their shapes together into a brand new combined symbol called a conjunct. So fluent readers actually memorize hundreds of these letter mashups. Cyrillic was created in the 9th century in the First Bulgarian Empire by followers of the Byzantine missionaries Cyril and Methodius, who wanted a writing system that could capture the sounds of Slavic languages for translating Christian texts. It's built largely on the Greek alphabet, since Cyril and Methodius came from the Greek-speaking Byzantine world, but it added extra letters, borrowed from an earlier script called Glagolitic, to handle Slavic sounds Greek never had, like sh or sh. Because it spread alongside Eastern Orthodox Christianity, Cyrillic became the standard script for Russian, Ukrainian, Bulgarian, Serbian, and many other Slavic and non-Slavic languages across Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Interestingly, a rival script called Latin ended up covering the Slavic languages tied more closely to the Catholic Church instead, like Polish and Czech. So the same language family got split between two alphabets based on which church reached them first. The fun quirk is that Cyrillic letters can be sneaky lookalikes for Latin ones. So a Cyrillic V actually sounds like an English V, and a Cyrillic R sounds like an English R, which trips up plenty of tourists trying to sound out Russian street signs. Hangul is the youngest major writing system on this list. And unlike almost every other script, we know exactly who invented it and when. King Sejong the Great of Korea, who unveiled it in 1443. Before Hangul, Korean was written using borrowed Chinese characters, which worked poorly for Korean grammar and took years for ordinary people to learn. So Sejong wanted a script simple enough that, as he put it, a wise man could learn it in a morning, and even a foolish man in 10 days. What makes Hangul genuinely unique among world scripts is that it's featural, meaning the actual shape of each consonant letter is designed to mimic the position of your mouth, tongue, or throat when you make that sound. So the letter for G literally sketches the back of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. Instead of writing letters in one straight line like English, Hangul groups them into square syllable blocks, stacking 2 or 3 letters together into one tidy unit that represents a single spoken syllable. Linguists frequently call Hangul one of the most scientific and logical alphabets ever designed, precisely because it wasn't an accident of gradual borrowing like most scripts, but a deliberate, planned invention. The fun quirk is that South Korea even celebrates a national holiday, Hangul Day, just to honor the script's creation. From clay tablets and sacred carvings to sound-shaped Korean letters, every one of these systems solved the same problem, turning speech into something permanent, in a wildly different way. Next time you scribble a note or send a text, remember you're using technology thousands of years in the making. If you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more Every X Explained videos.